I am picking Deandre Ayton from the University of Arizona.
This is an absolute
stunning
shock.
pick.
I did not see this coming.
What a stunner. All right, I'll put the goofy hat on.
A little shorter than hat on.
Put the goofy hat on. Look, this is, to me, I wouldn't say it's a no-brainer, but you don't have to use a whole lot of your brain to pick this guy. He is offensively incredibly gifted at a very young age. He's 265 pounds now. He's put on 12 pounds since the end of the season, been working out very diligently. He's gained another couple inches on his vertical. He can do so many things at the offensive end. The challenge for him is going to be at the defensive end, but it's not insurmountable, I don't think. He's a generational type of big man. And I know the league is downsizing and everybody wants to go small, but when you get a chance to take a guy with this kind of talent offensively, with this kind of work ethic, as I put it, if you could take Joel Embiid with no back issues, you take Joel Embiid, wouldn't you?
Right.
So this is Joel Embiid without any back problems. So I think this is an easy pick for Phoenix to make.
Our friend Kevin McHale always says good size beats good no size.
Right.
Right? And he's good size.
That's right.
How much of the league would be in agreement with DA and likely the Suns that this is the obvious number one?
Well, I think everyone will be if they believe he can defend in space. The key to being a really impactful big now in the league, the way the game is played, all of your offensive gifts can't come to bear if you can't stay on the court defensively. So a team like Phoenix, who ultimately is trying to get through that juggernaut in Golden State, they're going to need a player who can defend in space. One of the big terms this year was switchable. Deandre really has not been switchable to this point, but what he is so particularly gifted offensively, but that you hope he can force a Golden State to keep a true center on the court. And if that's true, you've now made them play, instead of their 8 best players, you're asking them to play 11, 12, 13, and then you have a chance to do some damage there.
Yeah, I agree. And following up on that point, I mean, we like to say a lot that it's a small league now in the NBA and switching is in vogue. But when you have an offensive player of this size and this power, it will make you rethink your defensive philosophy, because a lot like DeMarcus Cousins, if you get a Deandre Ayton rolling to the rim, he's so big, he's so overpowering that you're almost giving up points in the paint, you know, with a guy of this caliber. I think it's a great pick.
And I'm just going to add that, not to compare him to LeBron James, the player, but since 2003, I think he is the most physically ready to play in the NBA from a guy that's played 1 year in college or less. I mean, he is a man. He is chiseled. He can come in and absorb the body blows like few people of his age and his size, I think, at this juncture.
I think that's close, but I would tell you that there's a guy named Dwight Howard somewhere who would love to argue that point.
Fair enough.
And there have been other bigs. What I think he is, though, is the first big of this generation where he hasn't been schooled as a traditional back-to-the-basket, low-post big man. All these young bigs that are coming to the league now, they've guys been switching nonstop. Their grassroots, level of play all over the globe has been in the style that you're going to play in the NBA now, which is much different than a traditional big that would have come into this draft 10, 15 years ago.
D.A. mentioned this, though, too. Defensive instincts, he's got a long way to go. Because the game is played the way it is now, kids aren't being schooled to have natural paint dominance in terms of rim protecting and actually cutting lanes off in the paint. Deandre doesn't know how to do any of that because he's been raised primarily on the perimeter. It's very difficult to make that transition in the league, so that may take some time.
Yeah, he'll have some work to do on the defensive end, but I do like the idea of having a player who can force other teams to play a little bigger than they might want to in this age of pace and space.